guys, welcome to my YouTube channel and my first full-length video. Today I'm going to show you how I changed this beauty from this. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe at the bottom, and let's get into the video. Okay, I'm going to start here with removing all the drawers and taking this vacuum to get out all the cobwebs and spiders. This piece was, I don't know where it was sitting before, but it was just loaded with cobwebs. So I just took a quick vacuum to all of it. And also, after I vacuumed, I did thoroughly clean this piece that I didn't get on camera. Okay, next we're going to remove all the hardware. And then we're going to take this hardware and throw it in a sink with this duck-use-saving detergent. Just plop them in there and let them soak for, I don't know, 30 minutes. Next here we have some pretty big gashes on the top of the dresser, and I'm going to go ahead and fill those. I'm going to use this plastic wood. This stuff is pretty good, I love it. And it just slides on like butter, so go ahead and fill all of that in. And it's also really good because you can fill in all the little dings on the side that have some really big gashes. It's good for that too. And this is veneer, so when we go to sand, we're gonna have to be very careful. Because it's veneer, it's a very thin layer of wood. So if you take your sander and over sand it and go through that veneer, it's gonna cause problems and you're gonna totally destroy your top. Also, I'm using 120 grit sandpaper. Okay, next we're gonna take a sanding pad and just go in and knock out or just sand down all that plastic wood that my sander can't reach. I'm going to take the same one sanding pad and a sanding sponge, put them together and just do a rough sand over all the drawers here. Now I didn't have any really big gashes in these drawers, so I just went with the regular just rough sanding just so the paint will properly adhere. Now I'm going to mix paint to create a unique color for this piece. And Paint Couture is amazing. It's an acrylic resin-based paint, which is a lot more durable than chalk paint. I swear by their products. They're amazing. Okay, and we're just going to go ahead and mix all of them in. And I got a whisk because I didn't want to use a popsicle stick, and all my other spoons were wooden, and I didn't want any of my wooden spoons painted and covered in paint, so I figured I'd use a whisk, which actually worked out. And I'll show you this metallic. It's gorgeous. You can see it right there. Okay, and now we're just going to go ahead and apply the paint. And also, I did get off camera that I did prime the top of this piece because I sanded it down to wood. I didn't want any tannins coming through. So my motto is, when in doubt, prime. Another amazing thing about Paint Couture is I rarely use water, unlike chalk paint. With chalk paint, it seems like I go through a bottle per project. I know it's exaggerated, but with this, I rarely use it. And I'm not sponsored by Paint Couture, I just love them a lot. On all of the tops of my pieces, I usually brush my first coat, and then I'll go in and use a paint roller for my last coat. And this is what the first coat looks like. And this is my second coat. It's so gorgeous. Next, I'm going to be doing a dry brush technique. I didn't get a lot of this on camera, but you take that little bit of paint and then you're going to dab it onto your napkin and get off as much as you can when there's literally nothing. And then you're going to go along the edges and it's going to give you that aged antique look. You can kind of see it right there. I just didn't get it on camera that much. Next, I'm going to coat my handles in this Rub and Buff Gold Leaf. And I just used a brush. And you don't really need a lot of this Rub and Buff. It goes a long way. And I'm just going to coat it all the little nooks and crannies with the brush. And when it dries, you buff it out. And it's going to give you this really shiny, just gold leaf. It's gorgeous. Now I'm going to glaze the hardware to give it that rich antique look, and I'm using Paint Couture's black chiffon glaze. So dab some on your brush and just drench your hardware. You want to get it in every single nook and cranny, and it's really messy, but that's like the funnest part of this. Now we're going to take a rag and wipe it away. And just wipe away as much as you want, as little as you want, just to whatever desired look you're going for. Before glazing, after glazing. Now I'm going to go back to that Rub and Buff and I'm going to apply it to all the appliques and also the trim on top of the dresser. And you can just do it with a finger. It goes on smooth and it's great. And now it's time to do the top coat. I'm going to use Paint Couture's satin top coat. And then I'm going to use this paint sponge that I found on Amazon. I'm going to wipe down the top of my piece, make sure I don't have any dog hair and dust and whatnot, because I don't need it getting trapped under my top coat. And then I'm going to get into a comfortable position. I'm going to start at one end and just go all the way to the other end, all in one smooth stroke. And I'll do a couple passes to make sure I have any air, you know, get out all the air bubbles and stuff if I have any bubbles. And just go back and forth. And then I'm going to do my second line overlapping a little bit of my first line. And we're just going to go back and forth. And the top coat came out absolutely beautiful. Love it! This French Provincial piece came out absolutely beautiful, beyond what I actually even thought it would come out. And I could not be more happier with this piece. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. Another thing is, if you think you don't have any artistic talent when it comes to doing this, you'd be super wrong. I thought the same thing, but I promise you, you can do it. And you don't need a lot of room. So anyway guys, thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you later.